Hi everyone, it's Meredith with Soul Navigation and welcome to my Libra Rising video. It's going to be really interesting today. So if you are a Libra Rising, or if you have a Libra Sun sign, a Moon, Venus, Mars, even Jupiter, or if you have a packed out 7th house, so if you have some personal planets like your Sun, Moon, Mercury in Libra, or if you just have 3 or more planets in the 7th house, this video is for you. And also, if you're involved with a Libra rising, this video is for you as well. Oh, I also want to say it's important to watch this rising sign series based on your North Node and your South Node. So if you have a Libra South Node, this tells me the energy and sort of the problems in which you were plagued with in your past life. And if it is your North Node, it's the lessons that you are supposed to learn in this lifetime. We're with Ivy today. She's cute as a little bug. I love her so much. I'm going to tell you, Libra rising is fascinating, and it's because Libra rising and Libra itself wears such a beautiful face. Libra rising is one of, if not the most beautiful sign in the zodiac, the physically gorgeous. And so it's really easy to box Libra into a pretty face, and it's easy to find a lot of superficial material on Libra. This video is going to kind of blow that apart. You know, I have to tell you that I have a lot of close people with Libra rising in my life, including my daughter and my husband. I also have a pretty big Libra emphasis in my own chart. I know Libra really well. I love the Libras in my life. My beautiful niece is also a Libra. And so I just have a lot of love in my life around Libra. I respect Libras. I just want to tell you they are misunderstood because they're cast off as kind of superficial or shallow, and it's just not the case. So I'm going to go so deep inside of a Libra, and I don't think you'll find this in a book, and I haven't seen a video on this either. I'm going to give you like the really raw, gritty truth, and I have a feeling a lot of Libras are going to get a little uncomfortable with this video. If you're involved with a Libra, watch this video, because when you understand your Libra at that core level, like in the depths of the bowels of their soul, and when your Libra is really gotten, you can help them immensely, because they live in sort of perfect world traps, a trap that's sort of plagued with fears. I want to talk to you about this really fascinating and deep part of Libra that not a lot of people speak about. You know that we go way past sun sign astrology, and I'm going to go into the psychology. I also like giving you the why. Why are they like this? How did they get like this? What is their motivation? And if you're a regular, and if you're a super supporter and a subscriber, thank you so much. I'm trying to get to 40,000 subscribers. And so if you're one of them, thank you so much. And if you're a super supporter, for 25 cents a day, you get all my behind the scenes content, and I've been doing a lot more, and you have a chance for me to read your chart in my private members only videos. I love you, super supporters. Even if you're not a Libra, wherever you have Libra in your chart, in whatever house you have Libra in, that is how that portion of your life, that house's subject matter, will act kind of Libra-ish, if you will. The rising sign is the persona. Yes, it is. It is the mask. It is the #1 marker on why you look the way you look. It's the physical features and structures. It's how you show up in the world. It's how you ask the world to see you and perceive you. And it is every new beginning, every single thing that you start Libra rising, you will start like a Libra. So it's how you say hello, and it's how you ask the world to see you. It's literally the mask you wear, but it goes so beyond that, because it is it is the subconscious coping mechanism of your first 12 years, maybe 14, maybe 16, but it is your subconscious programming, the messages and the patterns that you received as a child inside your family, inside the environment that you were raised in, that created this coping mechanism in you at a subconscious level. And when you're an adult, that is how you will still approach life until you're ready to break the unhealthy patterns that sort of created you. Not every Libra rising is unhealthy, but I like to talk about the shadow side, because we all have an element of our shadow side playing out in our lives. And until you can understand how that shadow works and how that shadow is operating, it's your operating system, it's your invisible operating system. And until you can be friends with it, it will boss you. I want you to know that with Libra, it is so tricky. This is my last video in my rising sign series. And I was probably inspired to do it last because in truth, it's probably the hardest one to do. And it's hard because Libra's coping mechanism, the way Libra sabotages itself, is ironically what most people in our society revere and admire. So, I mean, it's hard. It's going to be extremely hard for Libras to get in touch with this shadow side, to truly see, to clearly see with 2020 vision so clearly the not so pretty, not so nice little bits. Yeah, Libras are I'm going to just shine the light on them. Libras are some of the most delightful, some of the most smartest, polished, kindest people on the planet. They show up and they know how to make you feel special. They know how to make you feel beautiful. And they work hard to stay in step with your desires, your wants, and your wishes. I have a big emphasis of Libra in my chart. I told you that already. And like my mom always says things like, you know, Mare, you have to come to Thanksgiving dinner. It's not going to be the same without you. You have to come, please. You have to be there. And, you know, it's because Libras learn at a very young age. They learn like at 2 days old how to be the connectors, how to be the bridges. They're always closing the gap between two worlds. They are the brilliant liaisons. They can mend oppositions and they make rough waters stand still. They make everybody in the room feel sort of amazing, and they like to show off other people's gifts, highlighting what's so wonderful about you. They deflect compliments, spinning that very compliment on its head. It lands squarely as a badge for you to wear instead. And if they're healthy, they want to make you feel loved. They want to make you feel important. They want to make you feel seen and you feel special and you feel beautiful. And so what in the heck could be so bad or so hard about Libra rising? Like, how could this even go bad, right? I want to expose their truths that are buried 20 feet down inside. And I have the key, and together I'll hold your hand. I'm going to unlock you so we can all learn and grow and ultimately, at the end of the day, come to understand what's deep inside of Libra at the soul level. So we can finally, after this video, understand that Libra really isn't just fake and superficial and indecisive and shallow and two-faced and all these sort of superficial negative cliches that people speak of about Libra when they speak negatively about Libra. You know, these things are coping mechanisms that were born out of survival. I will have right about now some Libras that are going to sign off on this video because it's too painful to hear. And some Libras will even just outright say, nope, nope, this is not me. And I'm telling you, it's very, very hard. And it's almost impossible to get a Libra to be in touch with deeply their wounds unless they've got some Scorpio or Sagittarius in their chart. And they don't like knowing things that will create discord and uncomfortable ability. They can't easily bear hearing the hard things about themselves because they've worked so hard to just overcome it all and make it so darn good. So Libras, I really encourage you to listen to this video all the way through because at the tail end, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework and I'm going to talk to you about your deeper soul's lessons. And this is really primarily for Libra rising, but Libra and any primary planet. But because Libra is ruled by Venus, kind of like Taurus, it's hard to hear the Plutonian things. These people are not ruled by Pluto. They're ruled by Venus. Everything sweet, everything lovely, everything beautiful, everything kind. What's the point of focusing on the shadow side? Because when we understand your coping mechanism, you build empathy, sympathy, compassion, and true love. And true love is actually the name of Libra's game. Sadly, they rarely get true love. The unhealthy ones never get true love because they have built their lives on false premises. So hopefully this video can help some of these healthy Libras and unhealthy, but I don't know if the unhealthy ones are attracted to this video, break through to live more authentically inside their love relationships. So I think most books and most videos, especially here on YouTube, what you're going to hear about Libras is they're smart, they're analytical, they're great communicators, they're the PR person of the Zodiac, they're the harmonizer, they're the people pleaser, they're the kind lover, the empathetic friend, they're courteous, they're beautiful, they're well-mannered, they're the peacemaker, they're the diplomat, they're the fashionistas, right? They're brilliant, they're the artful, communications and marketing major. They have a love for beauty and the arts. They're well dressed, they're polite, and yeah, of course they're lovely, right? But rarely do you ever learn why are they those things? Were they just born that way? No. In truth, you kind of have to put some effort into being beautiful. You have to put some effort into being a good communicator. You have to put some effort into becoming a diplomat or a liaison. You don't just show up that way. I mean, have you seen the Gerber baby? When the Gerber baby grew up, the Gerber baby wasn't that cute after they grew up. You got to put some energy and effort into yourself to stay beautiful over time. So let's learn why. Why is Libra so concerned about those things? So it starts at birth. It's born out of all of the messaging that you got in your formative years. You learned how to respond to your environment. And you know that Venus is your rising sign. And this Libra risings usually have a pretty close relationship to a Venetian mother, a mother that is lovely, a mother that is pretty, a mother that is well-intentioned, a mother that is well-mannered, a mother that is polite, a mother that embodies whatever Venus is in their culture. If you are a Libra rising, that's only the beginning of the story. Most people are raised by their parents, but this messaging is coming from whomever raised you or influenced you the most, whoever was your authority from ages 0 to 12, maybe 14, maybe 16, and whomever was your influence taught you this behavior. You either mimicked it or you created it in reaction to who they were. It's usually your mama, but I understand that not everybody is raised by their mother. And this became what I call your subconscious programming in childhood. And this turned into your coping mechanism. And then you perfected it and you mastered it. And then by the time you became a self-developed adult, probably but not always, by the age of 36 years old, it became your programming for life. Now you can undo all of this behavior, but it usually takes a little bit of work, and it usually takes effort, and it usually takes a little bit of therapy. It takes a little self-discovery, and that's why I recommend astrology. If you are a Libra rising or a Libra moon, there is a huge, gargantuan mama emphasis in your life. Leave me a comment below and tell me what your mom was like, Libra risings and Libra moons. There's going to be two faces to this. This is also for Libras and people who have a heavy Libra aspect in their chart, but this is usually about the mother. So you usually come to see your mom or your family or the authority or your parents through rose-colored glasses. So you usually come to a place this isn't every Libra rising, but this is many. And through my practice, I have seen this a lot. You've come to deny any problems and abuses that have taken place in your family. Literally either had amnesia around the challenges with your mom or with your family or with your family's circumstances, or you literally just can't see them. And you might just not be able to see them, or they're just too hard to attach to. So you literally just don't attach to them. You give those painful bits no meaning, no validity. And so in a way you kind of ignore them, right? You just like, don't look at those parts. You could, as a coping mechanism, actually choose to live a superficial existence and a pretend kind of happiness and be kind of baby-like, childlike, or clownish, or silly, or superficial, or too preoccupied with your looks, rather than to see the emotional, harder things and acknowledge them. That is, until it takes such a toll on your soul that you're forced to see things honestly. There can be an over idealization of your family or your mother, and until that family reveals its humanness or its disappointments to you. Let's just look at a couple Libra risings to show you some examples of this before I flush it out more fully. In 2021, Britney Spears, she's Libra rising, and we can all see it in her story. And she has finally come out of amnesia and taken off the glasses and said, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to do this. This is really wrong. And as a matter of fact, this is quite frankly abusive. And she just tolerated it submissively for so long and never spoke out and was a good girl, right? And now she's just like, I've had it. They're not going to control me and take $60,000 a month to be my appointed chaperone. It's wrong. Another example, and Brittany's whole life, you can really see Libra rising, and you can see how she's kind of baby-like and childlike, and you can see how she doesn't live inside of the grudges, and she has her anger. It's been really repressed for many years. She's a Sagittarius, and so she's really now kind of fiery about it, and she's coming out bold. The next example I want to give you is Anna Nicole Smith, and this one's very interesting. She was raised as an only child by her mama and then her aunt, but she failed. She dropped out of sophomore year in high school, and she had five siblings, five half siblings by her father, but her dad left. And she had a really, really rough childhood. And she obviously lived with rose-colored glasses, and it plagued her whole life. And one quote that her mama said, her name was actually not Anna Nicole Smith, it was Vicki Lynn. In an interview, she was very close to her mom, and she loved her mom a lot, but she outgrew her mom. Her mom said about Vicki Lynn, she said, I don't know why Anna keeps telling the tabloids these stories about her penniless upbringing. And then I asked her about it. I confronted Vicki Lynn about it. And Vicki Lynn, Anna Nicole Smith, had said, quote, Mama, please understand, I want to make money and I want to be noticed. And so these stories that I tell are not about you. They're about me. So it's almost like, Mama, I know what I'm doing isn't telling the total truth about you, but please forgive me because at all costs, I want to be recognized. Libras have a very, 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 very hard time speaking poorly about their mamas. They can hate their mamas, they can dislike their mamas, or they can love their mamas or idealize their mamas, but they have a very difficult time speaking poorly about their moms. And they usually or oftentimes really adore their moms or idolize their moms, for right or for wrong. They often do. And sometimes they adore their moms even though their moms don't always serve them. Some Libra rising moms do, but not all. Even if their moms didn't serve them, Libra risings still find it almost unbearable to admit that or to say it. It's really, really hard. It's painful for Libras to rock the boat, especially rock the boat around the person who created them. So I want to give you, Beyonce is a Libra rising. Look how close she is with her mom. So you're going to see sort of an intense relationship to mom. Elizabeth Montgomery, that's Bewitched. Monica Lewinsky, Natalie Wood, Paloma Picasso, Tara Reid, Venus Williams, Zoe Kravitz, Jean Harlow, Courtney Love, Leonardo DiCaprio. I haven't said too many men. I didn't look my men up, but I just knew that one off the top of my head. In the Libra rising's life, there's oftentimes hidden hardships, hidden abuse, hidden challenges, hidden difficulties. Not always, not every single Libra rising or heavy Libra influences or heavy sun or moon will experience this, but it's frequent enough to mention it. Now, why? It's because Libras feel deep down inside for some reason that they are the burden on their family or their mom. They feel it's their existence that is the problem. Now, the mom doesn't necessarily even make the kid feel that way. The kid just comes into this lifetime feeling that. They feel like they are the reason why there is suffering inside of the family. And so they work exceptionally hard to make amends and to make things right, to be quiet, not to disrupt, to accommodate, to be well-mannered, to be pretty. And if they are good girls and boys, if they create harmony and peace, maybe they will fix, maybe they will mend, maybe they will heal the challenges that exist in their family or exist inside of their mother's burdens. And so they learn to create harmony at all costs. And this is their most potent tool in their toolbox. Also, sort of how they do this is they sort of pretend to not see the hardships. They sort of don't speak about them. They may see them, but not acknowledge them for so long, like year after year, day after day, after week, after month, after year, that they become literally walking through life unconsciously, looking at the things that they're supposed to see and choosing not to see the flawed bits and parts. And they get so good at this that they now have such a trained eye to only see the beautiful things that they become quite fixated on the superficial. They don't want to crack the egg open and let the yolk bleed out. No, they don't want to ask the hard questions and make somebody uncomfortable. They don't want to probe beneath the surface and go where a person doesn't want them to go, into awkward spaces and places. They don't want to uncover the ugly truths if it's going to create pain, discord, and upset. They don't want experiences like that because they know, they believe, they feel that that will upset the other person. And then they feel badly about themselves and they feel badly that they created a mess for you to clean up. And then they have guilt over that. So their life goes on never talking about those things, never developing communication skills that can probe or delve or deal with hard truths. So they stay kind of on the surface. And what happens when you stay on the surface? You stay sort of superficial, right? It's dangerous to go into those other waters. They don't feel that they can manage it. And they don't feel like they have a life vest. They feel like they will literally drown, and they will probably drown you too if they go there into the depths. And life goes on like that until one day they realize that being asleep at the wheel of their life, and they realize not acknowledging the truth of their existence, the truth of their family, the truth of what's really happening in this environment or in their mother's world or in their family's world. It has led them to a place to build a life, to grow a life that feels to them fake, not real, phony. And now they're in a trap and they don't know how to get out of it. It's painful. And they come to see, they come to learn that their joy, their friendships, their values feel woefully superficial. At least the healthy Libras crave now a sense of depth. They want more from their relationships. They want something real and visceral and raw. This is the very moment in time where the brilliance inside a Libra starts to form. And when we get to this time in a Libra's life, Libra goes one way or another. It's like a fork in the road. They're going to pick the right scale or the left scale because Libras are the scales. And the ones that are superficial, that can't go there, that can't bear to go there, they'll stay that way their whole life long and they'll die that way. And the other Libras that are maybe a little bit more courageous or willing, or have Scorpio in their chart, or have a more supportive system, or have a parent that has some real depth to them, will actually go into this utterly brilliant place where intuition and intellect merge together and forms, I think, the most intuitive person of the entire zodiac. Those are the rare Libras, but they do exist and they're highly intelligent. Those are the Libras that will blow your friggin' mind. So there's two kinds here. There's the ones that never truly develop past the superficial world because it's just too unbearable. And let's have compassion for those people too. And then there's the other Libras that say, you know what, I want to look at it differently now. I'm old enough, I can handle it, because this other fake superficial way of living on the surface just does not serve me. Oh, here's Teddy. He's never allowed. He's never allowed up here. He's never allowed on the furniture, ever. But why not for the Libra video, huh? Why not? I love him. Isn't he cute? I kind of hope that you have a deep and thoughtful person in your life. If you are a Libra rising or if you are a Libra, somebody who encourages you to not be afraid to get real about yourself, about them, about your life, and helps you deal and cope with and even enjoy seeing the authentic truth, even if it hurts a little bit. Libras that can learn that confrontation and standing up for what is truthfully going on can actually build healthy relationships, and they'll learn that taking a stance is the only way to maneuver through life. Healthy Libras come to learn that if they're just going to live in denial of the painful parts in their life because they don't want to upset their family, they don't want to upset their family concept inside their head, idealize the people in their life for so long, they don't want to change their story, they don't want to hurt their mother, they realize that they're never going to be able to have the depth and the truly fulfilling relationships in life that they actually crave. So why is that? This particular coping mechanism for the person who wants connections and relationships more than anything in the entire world will lead you to attracting people in your life that will dominate you, that will run you over, that you'll be submissive to. Why? Because compliancy, when you're just compliant, you're going to attract people that need a compliant partner. You're going to attract narcissists. And you may even attract an abuser that you'll never want to stand up to, that you'll be too afraid to stand up to. You won't want to reveal them. You may not even see that, in fact, you are abused. And it may just be too painful. So the coping mechanism to placate others, that means to tell other people what they want to hear, even if it's not the truth, and to play both sides, right? To not rock the boat, to people please your life away, creates a vacancy inside of you. And you become sort of a plain piece of toast. And eventually your identity is never grown. It's never implemented. It's never even discovered or known. Then indecision, not even knowing what it is you want because you're too busy taking care of the happiness and joy of other people, is what becomes your driver. Until one day when you get in touch with the repressed rage that you feel inside and you say, that's enough, like Britney Spears. You take a stance for what you want and what is truly right for you and your life. You get in touch with your truth, your desires, your wants, your wishes, your joys, your happinesses, what makes you happy, your opinions. And you now are at a place where you want your preferences to be heard. The very first day, or the day that you can see the truths about the wrong things or the wrongdoings in your life, when you can take a stance to right those wrongdoings and act upon your authentic desires for your own life, is the day, my sweet Libra friend, that you self-actualize. Yes, it's the first day of self-actualization. Now we need a bunch of other days to follow it in order to truly stand in it. That's probably the very first best day of your life, truthfully. Why are Libras better at partnerships than anyone else in the whole zodiac? Well, they learned how to dance how another person wanted them to dance from hello. And their whole life until 12, 14, 16, maybe even 36 years old, to tell you the truth, maybe even longer than that, was about appeasing you, making you happy, making mom happy, making the family happy, making the party so much better than it would be without you. So I'd like to give Libras permission to quit it. To quit it, you're going to be liked so much more. It's funny. It's so ironic. All of that people pleasing and the whole tap dance that you learn to do and to create joy for other people and put other people first, it actually is sabotaging you. You're actually not getting the thing that you think you're getting. Why do you think Libras are fickle or indecisive? Leave a comment below. Tell me where your Libra is in your chart. Tell me if your Libra is in easy or hard aspect to the sun. And tell me if your sun, if your Libra rising is in easy or hard aspect to Libra. And tell me if your Libra in your chart is in hard aspect to what planets. So that means if it's square or opposite to what planets. Teddy's being spoiled. He's not allowed up here. I'm going to be in big trouble. So why are Libras fickle and indecisive? Because they weren't shaped around their own opinions. They were shaped around your opinions, your needs, your opinion of them. And your opinions about life were bigger than what they could develop. They got into a two-step dance with your opinion, never having the courage to develop their own opinion, because their opinion would probably burden you, not synchronize with you. It would create discord or upset with their family, and it would create disharmony. It would be a deharmonizer. The one thing they're trying to avoid is deharmonization. How they survive their formative years is to get into step with their family, with their mothers. And so they're not going to go out of step with you. So they spend their whole lives from birth figuring you out. You and you and you and you and you and you and you. And that's why they're masters. They're masters at communication. They are masters at partnership because they know you better than you know you. They just don't know themselves as well as they should. The irony is, look at Britney Spears for this. It's such a great example. It's not until a Libra can stand in the ugly authenticity of the truth about their life that they can actually reclaim themselves, reclaim their lives, and turn it into their own vision that they have for themselves. And this requires seeing family truthfully for what they are and working through the disappointments that exist in their life, working through that which disappoints them about their life. Not hating your family for it, not holding grudges, not even being mad at anybody, not necessarily having to persecute anyone, although go let it be so if that's necessary, but understanding the real and raw reasons around why their family is the way they are and working through those reasons, working through those issues, facing those issues in their truth. I'm not saying they have to love the truths. I'm not saying they need to hate the truths. I'm not saying they need to hate their moms or hate their world. I'm just saying they have to get honest with it, looking at it objectively. And that's a big word for Libra. They usually, by the end of their lives or in their maturity, they get really objective. Libra's only way out of their gorgeous jail, look at Kim Kardashian. She's another phenomenal example of Libra rising, or Libra, I should say. I don't think she's Libra rising. I think she's a Libra, is to get painfully real. If it doesn't hurt a little bit, it's probably then not real enough, because reality kind of hurts. But Libra's natural house is the 7th house, right? And the natural zodiacal wheel. And it's the house of both love and war. And anytime you're willing to love somebody, you're set up for big, giant pain. You cannot love somebody or something and not set yourself up to also feel agony. When this little favorite person in my life is no longer here, the agony is excruciating to even think about. I can't live my life happily without Teddy boy. And so that's what love is. Love is painful. Loving someone is painful. Let me tell you, a self-actualized Libra that has gotten honest and has tapped into the repressed frustration, rage, and truth inside of them makes an Aries look like a pussycat. Yeah. When they get in touch with how pissed off they are about how their life was kind of presented one way, and mom or the world, maybe they're like movie stars, right? And it just looks all glamorous and gorgeous. But then the guts of it are really, really broken or painful or just human. Maybe just human. Maybe they're just not as beautiful as the picture was painted. If Libras don't, let me tell you what will happen to Libra rising. If Libras don't get healthy and honest and face some of this reality, if they just want to look at life through rose-colored glasses and never get really real about what the hell is really going on here, and look at their life circumstances with this like objective authenticity, by the time they're 16 years old, well, they're most likely going to choose partners that will repeat this kind of disappointment, this kind of illusion, this kind of fakeness, and this kind of abuse maybe. So there will be an abuse pattern with Libra. You know, Libra risings, more than a lot of signs, attract abusive partners. And they can end up living this pretty fake life. So they can get trapped in picking a fake partner that can operate in this fake world. You know, maybe they pick the pretty face partner only to find out that that partner is really vacant inside. And then they're trapped in this pretty fake lie, fake relationship in their marriage until they can get real with themselves. So some Libras have truths about themselves or truths about their lives that are just too damn painful to even look at. And more conventional, less developed, more superficial families will live and die and spend their whole life living in sort of an inauthentic, superficial way their whole life long. And it is sad, and it erodes the potential that lives inside of their soul. You know, the husband who's in an arranged marriage and married the woman that his family told him to marry, only to have an affair and real true love with another woman that his family didn't approve of. So he lives this fake lie, living in this fake marriage jail, in this arranged marriage, and his family, and he can never ever integrate the true love of his life into his life in an authentic way. She has to be kept secret his whole life long. And he has children and a family with the woman he doesn't love, the arranged marriage person, and he fakes in front of his kids that he loves this wife when really can't stand her. And I'll tell you, I have so many clients, I'm embarrassed to even say how many, that live in that situation. So many. That is a very common situation that I deal with on a daily basis, probably for 20 years. And it breaks my heart. And they can't leave it. They can't leave. Their society, their culture, and their family commands and demands that they stay in a marriage that looks a certain way, that has a certain cultural background and protocol to it. You know, the young man that's gay, but he can't disrupt the concept his family or mother has of him. So he chooses to marry a woman instead of being authentically himself, and he just represses his passions and his desires. You know, some Libras can never live out the authentic truth that lives inside of them, and that real self just dies inside of them. And that is what rock bottom looks like for a Libra. I will never let my daughter suffer like that. I have too many other things in my chart, but she's a Libra rising, and I won't let her not live out her authentic self. One day when this video lives on beyond me, she'll see this. Hopefully that will be good for her to be reminded that I cared. When Libras are dealing with conflict, how do they cope with conflict? They shrink, they hide, they go within. They don't expand, they don't fight, they go away, they freeze up, they get little. They literally shut down. And if your Libra is shut down, if they are frozen, if they are going within, go to them and tell them that you love them, that you care about them, and that you want them to share their authentic feelings with you. Don't punish them for being afraid to share with you what's truthfully in their heart. Tell them that you'll love them in their flaws too. They're a little bit like Virgo like this. And tell them that they don't have to have perfect answers. They can also, it's okay to not even know what you feel. A lot of Libras don't know what they feel because they've conditioned themselves their whole lives to accommodate the other person and to eliminate their own preferences. And that's how they spent their formative years. So it's really important if you have a Libra rising. And this is why I appreciate astrology. If I didn't have astrology in my life, I probably would have subconsciously created this in my daughter to a really large degree, but because I know that this is her plight, because I know this is the potential of how she can sabotage herself by not standing in her own truth, I give her permission and more power than I probably normally would, because I do have a dominant personality, to truly be herself. Now, I'm not going to let her go off the rails, that's for sure. But without astrology, I might not have done that. When you have astrology, especially as a parent, it is such a powerful and profound tool, because you can kind of parent in a way that thwarts self-sabotage. Yeah. So I really recommend, if you have a teenager, to buy the parent-child report. It's like called the teen report. And there's 2 reports in it, one for you and 2 for them. And it's really, really good. And it tells you every single day it's their transits for a whole year. And it speaks to them in a teenager cool kind of way. And then it tells you what they're going through too. And I gave that to my daughter. And so she looks at that every single day. It's really, really helpful for me too, because I can see her transits. I can see what she's going through. Encourage your Libra to not be afraid to tell you the ugly emotions that they're feeling. You're allowed to feel hatred. You're allowed to feel jealousy. You're allowed to feel mad. You're allowed to feel all of those ugly emotions. Give them permission to feel the ugly emotions too, because they're so out of touch with those emotions. They are so out of touch. They're like a Gemini like that. Let them have the entire color of the rainbow of emotions. Give them permission, especially if you're listening to this and you're a mom of a Libra rising. And let them see that you have those emotions too. Don't fake your emotions. Don't be fake to your kid if you have a Libra rising child and you're a mama or a Libra kid. Why are Libras so damn smart? Why are Libra rising so damn smart? They are so highly intelligent. They're like a border collie smart. And they have been using their intuition, figuring out the dynamics of every single person. And what's your relationship, mom, to dad, and dad, what's your relationship to mom, and brother, what's your relationship to dad, and dad, what's your relationship to brother, and mom, what's your relationship to me, to my sister, to my stepsister, to my half sister, they start building the chess game, and they start seeing the strategy, and they start analyzing really deeply. They have really high IQs, and their intuition guides them. And so they blend intellect and intuition, I think personally, better than any other sign in the whole entire freaking zodiac. So like Scorpios are all highly intuitive, like they're just highly intuitive. So are Cancers. But Libra and Geminis are just brainy, and Virgos are brainiac smart. But Libra mixes both the left and right brain to such a high level. And because relationships are the number one most important thing in their life, it's life and death all the time. Relationships are going to die if I don't use my intellect and intuition right this minute. And so they master relationships with intuition and intellect. And it just creates brilliance, like so freaking brilliant. So if you have a healthy Libra, you probably have one of the highest EQ people on the planet. Tell me if that's you, or if you know a Libra that's really healthy, that you just see this massive intelligence and massive EQ, emotional intelligence too. They just are so damn smart, and they have their finger on the pulse, and they can see the teeny weeny things that will set this whole damn place on fire right now. And in order to avoid the fire, right, they have to know how to behave, what to say it, how to act, what to do, what to wear, how to have manners, how to navigate, how to cajole, how to persuade, how to manipulate, how to maneuver, how to move, how to strategize, how to talk, how to write, what not to say, what not to do, what not to wear, what not to be. And they've got all that going on massively, like incredibly scrambled, like a blender in their head. They develop a perfect response system to every situation, no matter where they're at in the world. You can take a Libra anywhere. You can take a healthy, smart, not superficial, but a well-developed Libra anywhere in the world. Anywhere. Yes. They develop perfect response systems at 2 days old. Are you a Libra rising? Do you relate? Can you go anywhere? Can I have you dig a ditch with a bunch of prisoners that are, still spending time in jail? And could I also take you to the president's gala? Yeah, Libras can do it all. They've mastered people. They are the people master. Try on what I just told you. Try on doing that for a room full of people. using your EQ and your IQ and figuring out everybody's relationship to everybody, how every single person is motivated, what you need to do to make this whole thing go, make this person like that person happy, make you happy, you happy, you happy, you happy, make you feel good, you feel good, you feel good, have this glue together, make these people come together, make this fight never happen, make this all. It's friggin' exhausting being a Libra. Libra moon, Libra rising, North node in Libra, South node in Libra, Pax 7th house, Libra Mercury, Libra Jupiter, Libra Mars or Venus. It's exhausting. People pleasing is an exhausting job. You just want to go crawl into bed and not talk to anybody. It's sort of an impossible job that they manage to do on the daily. Are you one of these people? Do you get this? Can you tell your story so people believe me? People believe that I'm not just making this up. This is hard. You think being a Virgo is hard? Try being a Libra. You think being a Scorpio is hard? Try being a Libra. You know, every sign has a hardness, has a hardship to it. And the Libra hardship is hard because they feel like if they don't do that, they will die. And worse than that, they feel like if they don't do that and they upset their moms or their families might die. And Libras can't live without relationships. Libras can't live all by themselves alone. Are you a Libra? Are you alone? Are you okay with being alone? And do you have Aquarius in your chart? Gemini or Sagittarius. If you're a Libra and you're totally alone and you really feel so alone and lonely, would you please tell us about it? Why did you choose to be alone? Is people pleasing just too exhausting? Did you just burn out? What happened? If you're a Libra and you're alone, tell me why. What happened? That is such an anomaly and that is such an interesting person. And I want to know you. Leave a comment below. And by the way, I just recommend you guys go to Soul Navigation and click on book a reading and get an astrology reading. It will change your whole life. My team at Soul Navigation, they are amazing and they give amazing astrology readings, amazing psychic readings, energy healing readings, and mediumship readings, numerology readings, womb readings, and tarot readings. Just so gifted, all my readers at Soul Navigation. Go down into the notes section and you can learn about, if you're a super supporter, all the free perks you get, the behind the scenes videos, you'll get a chance of me reading your chart in my members only videos. I highly recommend you guys get the Astro Gold Advanced Package if you really want to learn more about yourself, peel the onion, learn about astrology, and also get a reading. But come join my channel for 25 cents a day. You just get so much. And I just love my super supporters. I'm so grateful for you. You have no idea. I just love you to pieces. And I'm so glad you're here. Libras have an interesting component that they developed in early childhood. And it's called dependent personality disorder. And it's exactly what it sounds like. They don't necessarily like being the person when they're young, especially. And tell me if this is true now about you, Libra, especially if you're over age 36. I want to know if you're still like this. I want to know your age. Libra, it's important that I know your age when you leave a comment. Please tell me I'm 28 or I'm 12 or I'm 14 or I'm 19 or I'm 50. And then leave your story, leave your little Libra story. Libras, after the age of 30, Libras have a very big chance of self-developing because they're so smart. And because they are objective. It's hard, it's not simple, but they have a big chance of breaking this pattern where I sometimes think like Scorpio rising has a harder time, or Pisces rising has a little bit of a harder time breaking away from the subconscious pattern that happened when they were young. Even Leos have a hard time. Fixed signs have a harder time breaking their patterns. But Libra has a really good chance. Maybe it's because they're Venetian of changing their pattern. So I want to know if this pattern existed in you as a young person and then it changed. Then what was the catalyst? Why did it change? Please talk to me. I want to learn. I learned so much from your comments. And so does everybody else. So it's really important. So dependent personality disorder, they don't like being the person to make the decisions or to loudly declare their feelings because they don't want to create this discord or this unhappiness or this disappointment from you. So they get you to make the decision and then they submit to your decision. Like you get to pick the restaurant and then they go along with it. And sometimes as a young child, they don't even know what it is they feel. And so they have to ask their moms to tell them, what do I feel right now? And even I had to do that with my own mom. Mom, I don't know what I feel right now. And then whatever the mother tells them that they're feeling, they then become that feeling. Like, oh, okay, thank you for telling me how to be. Thank you for telling me what it is I'm feeling. Thank God I had a mom that was so deeply aware, so highly in touch, that didn't run an agenda on me, that was really, really healthy and could step outside of her own self and even tell me when maybe I was feeling like a jealousy or something that was embarrassing to feel. I know not every mom is like that. Some moms run their own motive. Let's pray you got a good mom if you've got a lot of Libra in your chart. Let's pray to God that you have a good mom. Look at Kim Kardashian with her mother. Oh my God. So her mom created her. Her mom developed her. Her mom grew her. Her mom coached her. Her mom managed her. And her mom is still now, as Kim, as an adult, is her momager. And that's what they call her, momager. And Kris Jenner manages all of her children, all of them. She manages them. What the hell? It's codependent and it is sick. It's not healthy. So Libras can be so dependent. They can actually believe that they are nobody without somebody to love them. That's just not true. You are lovable, whether or not you have a partner in your life loving you. You are lovable. And Libra just feels like a nobody if they don't have somebody. You can see it in Kim Kardashian's life, the codependency that she's created. She doesn't even know who she is without her mom. She doesn't. I hope she does by now. I do. I hope she does by now. I hope she really, has her identity in place. But she's a Libra, and look at her relationships. I mean, I really don't think she had a super healthy, relationship to Kanye. I think she had to submit to that abuse personally. I know I'm being very candid on here, but I feel that. I know he has a mental illness, all that, but you can still be abused by somebody who suffers from a mental illness, and it's not fair and it's not right. But she's a very serious codependent, and she's going to grow her own children probably out of her superficialities. It is very difficult. I've seen glimpses of her be real and get real, but it is very difficult for her to get truly, truly, truly deep and authentic about her issues and her challenges in life. She can't afford to show those, to see those, or to have those develop, because her brand is built not on those. She puts a little bit of drama out there, but she does that to manipulate you to buy what she's selling, right? That's part of the TV show. Is it really, really real? I don't know. I've never watched the television show. Can you believe that? So I want to give you a homework assignment if you're involved with a Libra, okay? This is really important to do, and this is how you help your Libra develop in a healthy way. And I learned this, right? I learned this by being a partner to a Libra rising, and by having Libra in my own chart and idealizing my own mama. And I still idealize her, and also having a Libra rising kid. So make your Libra or your Libra rising know that they can lay the ugly bits out, and you won't judge them. And this is the most important part. Let them know that you won't hate the person that they have a repressed anger for, okay? So there's somebody in their life that they're disappointed with. They will have such a hard time expressing that upset, that disappointment, or that hatred. And they might even be delusional or idealistic about their relationship with that person. That person is often, if they're young, their mother. If not, it can transfer over to father, to family, to just the whole concept of family. Like their whole family can be idealized, or partner. And then get them to be honest with you about how they feel about that relationship that they're idealizing. Allow them a safe place to talk poorly, and I mean honestly, to talk in an honest way that removes the rose-colored glasses and share with you in this honest, gut-wrenchingly honest way. And here's the kicker. And don't hate that person that they're getting real about. So if they're telling you about a problem they have with their mom, after you're done with the conversation, forget the problem that they have with their mom. Don't keep bringing it up, and don't hate their mom going forward, because they won't be able to attach to you. You have to stay neutral about the person they're struggling with. So you're not allowed to hate that person that's hurting them or hate that person that they're having a problem with. You coach them objectively. Get into your best Gemini, best Aquarius self and be objective and coach them through getting honest with that person that they're struggling with. Coach them through around their behavior to that person. But God help you if you hate that person, even if that person's abusing them. It's not going to serve you in your relationship with your Libra. Still see that person in the light that they saw them in before they confess their woes to you. Are you guys following me? Are you following me with this formula? Go back and repeat this if you're involved with a Libra. Basically, you're not allowed to hurt, you're not allowed to hate the person that they're complaining about, because it is so painful for them to even admit to you that they're struggling with this person. What you can do is coach them in their relationship with that person in a way that empowers them to be authentic, real, true, and honest. Please, dear God, tell me you got this. Please tell me you understand what I'm telling you. It is so complex. I mean, I am so deep in the weeds of their chess game right now. You get it, right? Tell me you do. This is hard stuff being involved with the Libra, because it's going to require you to have a high EQ too, if you want to see and understand them in their complexity. Do you know Libra is one of the most complex signs? I know we think about the complexity of a Scorpio, we think about the complexity of an Aquarius. Libra is so much more complex than any other sign. Taurus is very straightforward. Capricorn's pretty straightforward. Sagittarius, pretty, what you see is what you get, right? Gemini, complex, but more straightforward than Libra. This is so much strategy. Libras walk around the world in every single situation in their lives as a strategist, setting themselves up for a win, winning you, winning an opinion, winning admiration, winning likes, winning votes, winning happiness, winning harmony, winning peace. Yeah, yeah. Help them know that it really is okay to love a flawed person. Help them know that even if the relationship isn't ideal, it's still okay. You can still love a person with some warts and all. And it doesn't mean that the relationship is horrible. It doesn't mean that I'm going to hate this person who's been mean to you. It doesn't mean that you have to abandon this person or ruin your relationship or even go away. Help them love the person that is flawed, and at the same time, help them become empowered in asking for what they need, in putting themselves forward. I want you to watch my entire Libra playlist. Please watch that. Then also watch my video, Sun Through the Houses, and watch about the sun in the seventh house. Even if you don't have the sun in the seventh house, I want you to watch the sun in the seventh house, because that's going to talk about what Libra issues are. Write these down or go back and review this part over and over and over until you get them down. Your homework is, starting right now with somebody that you trust, be real and authentic. Start designing your life right now so it works beautifully, so your life works beautifully with or without others helping you manage it. Don't need a manager. Don't need a consultant. Do it on your own. Figure you out for you. Take a stance for your desires. Tomorrow when you wake up, take a stance for your desires. Let people know where you stand on an opinion. Do not like both sides. Stand firmly in an opinion. Are you pro-life or freedom of choice? Which one? Take a stance. 49%, 51%, right? Do you want to wear the pink or the red? 49, 51. Give me one. Take a stance. Where are you? 51%. And be it and own it and claim it and declare it and be good with it, right? Practice being decisive, because decisiveness is your opinion. I want you to put your opinions out on the line. Don't just be a complementary factor in a relationship, complementary like an accessory. Don't be the accessory. You're not the necklace. You're not the earrings, right? You're the whole damn enchilada. Be okay with disagreeing. Disagree in your beautiful way that you do it. You can cheese sandwich it, but disagree. Be the antagonist. And a lot of Libras do play devil's advocate, and that is a healthier Libra. Do it with grace, of course. And I want you to know deep down inside, you are likable and you are actually more liked if you don't always accommodate the other person. I also want you to stop being submissive to a controlling partner. Stand up and tell them to knock it off when they're dominating, controlling, or stepping on you. And I want you to quit being privately and openly preoccupied with the other person. Quit being preoccupied with what they want, what they need, what makes them happy. No more of that. When you start doing that, shut your brain off and say, what do I want? What do I want right now? You know what? I want to get into comfortable clothes. Well, I know my hubby's coming home and he's going to want to go out. I don't really want to go out. I want to wear my big fluffy slippers. I want to take a shower. I want to wash my hair and I want to stay in. But I know he's going to come home and want to go out. I don't want to go out. That's just a silly example, but I'm just telling you, do what you want to do. And this is the last little homework assignment. You ready? Don't volunteer for things you don't really want to do. Don't do it. Quit doing that. Quit saying yes. I want you to practice saying, no, I'm busy. No, I can't do that. You are never, ever, 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 ever going to build the kind of relationship or life that you want if you continue to do all that. Not the homework assignment I gave you, but the antithesis of that. You know why? It's because nobody at the end of the day truly will respect you. If you give up all of you, if you continue to give you up your preferences, your wishes, your desires, your hopes, your dreams, your identity, you're going to attract users and narcissists that will continue to treat you like a doormat. You're going to attract the abusers. And you'll become this magnet for these sociopathic narcissists that are just going to take advantage of you and mistreat you. Libras, when they're healthy, are here in this world to develop an unbiased, objective sense of equality. Equality and fairness in creating an authentic equilibrium in relationships. Did you hear that? Go back, and I know I have a lot of non-English native speakers on here, and so read the closed captioning. I hope it catches my voice correctly, but go back and really listen to that sentence, and I'll say it again. Libras are here. Libras that are healthy are here in the world to develop an unbiased, objective sense of equality and fairness in creating authentic equilibrium inside their relationships. They are here to learn how to master the complexity, that's why they're smart, of human partnerships, all kinds of partnerships and relationships, developing the courage to love with full out authenticity and realness while not giving up their own identities. Yes, this is the sign that needs more than any other sign, the courageousness to truly be themselves, which grants others permission to do the exact same thing.